Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, now I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. Today's class will be going through the introduction of compensation, the basic terms that we use in compensation. Okay.
So are you recording the session? Like
Yes.
last recording also I haven't received.
Yeah, I've started recording. Last recording, Shan has recorded, and I think he'll be sending you.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Venu.
Yeah. So what is success factor compensation? What we do in success factor compensation? Okay. If you look at the exact terminology of the compensation, it is the pay for performance of the employees. That is based on the employees' performance, we'll be paying them or we'll be rewarding them. That's the compensation that we do in success factor compensation. Okay. Unlike like all the other modules, compensation is also integrated with the performance management and the employee center, where we'll be getting the employees data from employee center, all the data from employee center, and the performance ratings from the performance management, and we'll be pushing back the employees data after completion of the compensation cycle to easy employee center. So that way, the system is integrated with both the performance and the employee center. So by building the process into success factor compensation, you can actually reward the employees based on their performance. We'll come to know, or the planners will come to know, or the management will come to know who are the employees who has actually performed, and what is the amount or the what is the reward that the employees were given. That will help to retain the employees back into with the organization, like retaining the top talents with the organization.
Right.
Yes, and award salary increases bonus and stock to high performance, like the same when if based on the performance of the employees will be rewarded and their salary will be increased. Okay, and ensure compliance to guidelines. Like we have the guidelines where the system restricts the planners to not to not to give the amounts more than the budget that is assigned to them. And similarly, like the performance, if you look at the guidelines, the performance, it can be based on the performance. If the employee has got only the rating 1, we are setting the guidelines that planners should not give more than 10% or the 5%. So that way we can control the compliance also in compensation. So there is no scope for the planner to
Got it.
give out of the budget or out of the percentage that the employee should get. Okay, and some of the terminologies that we use in compensation are, the first thing, the compare ratio, which is very important. Compare ratio is nothing but the employees pay as a percentage of the midpoint in the salary range. If you look at the salary ranges, we have when you define the pay ranges, we have minimum salary, mid salary, and then max salary. So every employee who is hired into the system, based on their grade, they will be given a salary which is within the pay range of that particular job grade. So when a compare ratio is calculated, compare ratio is calculated by the annual salary by the midpoint of the salary range into 100. That gives you the compare ratio. So
Right.
whenever we have a worksheet, we will have the annual salary of the employees, and then from that we'll get the compare ratio. Though the compare ratio is already there in the system for the current salary, when we give a salary hike or a merit to the employee, we'll also see the compare ratio of the increased salary, which is, again, you can have the final compare ratio is the standard field that we have from the compensation worksheet. It gets automatically calculated. So how is it calculated? It is calculated like the annual salary by midpoint of that particular range, pay range of the grade employees holding into 100. That gives the compare ratio. That way you'll come to know where the employee is exactly falling in the pay range. And the compensation administrator is nothing but the person who is responsible for configuring the system. Once the implementation partner implements or the supports, I'll have an administrator from the client side who will actually, doing a slight changes in the system. Like if he needs any additional columns to be added, or the budget to be changed, or the formulas to be changed. So the comp admin will be the responsible person to do all those things. Or as a partner, as an implementation partner or the support partner, we can also be called as the compensation administrator. And compensation form, the planning sheet created for each planner based on the compensation plan template. So in compensation, basically, we have planners. Planners are nothing but the managers for whom there are direct reports. So the manager, whoever has got manager role, is called as a planner. So whenever we launch the worksheets, we launch the worksheets for the planner, not to the employees.
Mhm.
Okay, so we launch the worksheet to the planner. The worksheet is sent to planner, where planner can see the list of employees, or we can say the list of eligible employees. In a team of 10
Right.
or 20, maybe all the employees are not eligible. Who are eligible, those employees will be listed down in the worksheet. That's the
So one
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
one question, Venu, sorry to interrupt. So in the organizations where planners are basically from an org structure standpoint, the manager I report to, right?
Yes,
They are the planners
they are
and
the
they would
planners.
be planning it for their team. But
Yes.
if there is any oddball situation where you have a manager, but he is not the planner for the employee, like there are certain companies where the HR business partners do the compensation planning for the employee. So I may not be in the org structure of that
Okay. Yeah.
particular individual, but he would be doing the comp planning. Is that possible in comp?
Yes, it is possible. Like when defining the plans, we have various types of hierarchies that can be considered. One is the standard hierarchy, which will be considering the org structure. One is the roll up hierarchy, where you'll be choosing the planners. Okay, and even we can import the data, like you can have employee and then you can have a planner to map to that employee and upload that into the system. And we have the compensation hierarchy, where you can actually map the employees to the planners that we want.
Oh, perfect.
So when
Okay.
defining the planners, we can have the hierarchy defined in the system for that particular plan.
Sure.
So maybe the employee might be reporting to one person in the organization when you look at the organization chart, but the employee can be rated by a different planner, who is actually the
Mhm.
compensation manager.
Compensation plan.
Yeah. And compensation plan template. Plan template is nothing but where we do the entire configuration. The code that contains the compensation configuration of the complete compensation cycle. That's the compensation plan. We call it compensation plan. Whereas the compensation form, when we launch the worksheet, that worksheet is called the compensation form. Then compensation program, again, it contains the specific method of employees compensation for salary, bonus, whatever that we do in the compensation, like the merit increase, the lump sum, the extra amount, or the stocks, all together is called the compensation program. And current salary is nothing but, again, the annualized salary of the employee. The cycle, cycle means the period that we are evaluating the employee, or we are considering the compensation review, or the or it can be an annual review or a mid review. Okay, the period that we are considering for the compensation is the cycle.
Mhm.
And then eligibility determines the employees who can participate in the compensation program, as discussed earlier in day before yesterday's class. The eligibility, we can have eligibility rules in place for compensation plans. So maybe if the organization has got 10,000 employees, maybe all the employees are not eligible for the plan. So we should eliminate the employees who are not eligible for the plan. So we can have eligibility rules we can create eligibility rules and map that rule to our compensation plan. And then guidelines expected range of recommendation based on performance rating and or other criteria. Other criteria can be again grades, countries, or a division. Like we can define the guidelines based on the performance rating, like the employees with the performance rating 1, with the rating 2, 3, and 4 will have a percentage of 5%, 10%, 15%, like that. Or it can also sometimes it can also be based on the country. Like for this country, I want to give a rating of 10 to 15. For this particular country, I want to give a rating of 1 to 5, or a
Right.
particular division or a particular employee class, I can give this percentage. We can have the guidelines set as per those criteria also in the system. But we need to define, or we need to tell the system that for this particular guideline, we'll be using the country as a criteria, or the performance rating as a criteria. And we can use the guideline only once for each of the component. Like if you're using salary increase or a merit, we can have only one guideline. And then if we have a lump sum or an extra amount that is given to the employee, so we can have one more guideline. But we cannot have more than one guideline to each of the component. Like if we have merit, we can give one guideline, but not multiple guidelines can be set for one component. And then the planner, person who is authorized or the responsible to recommend compensation changes for the employee, like the manager of the employee. And the planning sheet, list of employees where a planner makes compensation recommendation for salary, bonus, etc. It's a worksheet. Call it worksheet or the planning sheet. Raise proration, calculation of the eligible raise amount based on the date range or an uploaded percentage. The salary increase, the hike that is given to the employee, that is the raise proration. So when you talk about the proration, it can be based on the period. Like if the employee is eligible for the compensation cycle, but what if the employee has joined in between the cycle? Let's say our cycle says it starts from Jan 1st to December 31st, but the employee has joined in between the cycle, that is on June 1st. So how should we consider when raising the salary or when increasing the salary? So it should be prorated either based on the date, based on the period, or the employee's hire date.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a range penetration. Give me a moment.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. The range penetration, the level of individual pay compared to the total pay range. When you compare the total salary with the individual pay, okay, that is called the range penetration. In the compare ratio, we are actually comparing the employee salary with the midpoint. But here, we are actually calculating with the maximum and the minimum salary. Current salary, that is annual salary minus the minimum. Let's say annual salary is 10 lakhs and the minimum is 2 lakhs. Okay, minimum salary is deducted from the annual salary, that is 8 lakhs divided by max minus minimum. That is the range penetration. The range penetration is calculated, compared on the total pay range, not on the midpoint. Whereas the compare ratio is calculated or the compared with the midpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Salary pay matrices, the list of pay grades and the associated mean, mid, and max. Nothing but the pay ranges. Pay ranges will have the salary, minimum salary, mid salary, and the max salary. Sometimes we may also have the attributes. Actually, the pay ranges are defined on the pay grades, but sometimes some organization if the organizations has got is based at multiple countries, what happens is they can have only one pay grade, like the managers in US, managers in UK, managers in India. So all of them can have only one pay grade, but their
Mhm.
salary should be different. Their pay range should be different. For the employees who are working in US, the pay range is different. The manager who are working in US are different. Pay range is different, and then UK managers pay range is different. Indian managers pay range is different. So to differentiate this, we can have different attributes linked to the pay range. Like the pay grade is one, which is
Mhm.
manager. Okay, which is same for all the countries. But based on the geozone or the location of the employee, the pay ranges should come, right? So that gives the pay ranges. That is defined when we are defining the pay ranges in system. That is in EC. So we can control that from the Excel, from the succession data model. Okay, that also we can see. We'll see when we do the settings in compensation plan. The salary proration, again, the calculation of the amount of salary based on the date range or the approved percentage, similar to the raise proration, the salary proration. And then salary rate type, the pay type of the employee, whether the employee's salary is paid monthly, annually, or weekly or the bi-weekly. We have
Mhm.
FTE field in employee center,
Job in, yep,
yeah, which
job
is
information.
yeah, job information where the employee is defined whether the employee is a full-time employee or not, and the rate of pay that is paid to the employee. Okay, that's the salary rate type. And moving to navigating of compensation administration, we can get into the system. Okay, when you go to the compensation home, when you go to the admin center, we have the compensation. When you click on compensation, we have action for all plans, aggregate export, and roll up report. These two are the reports that we have in compensation. Aggregate export gives you the entire worksheet in the Excel format, which is generated in V4E format, but we can convert that into Excel. And we have roll up report also. These two are the reports. And action for all plans, we do all our configuration in action for all plans. Okay, which is again in the compensation home. Will take you to the same
Mhm.
page, action for all plans or the compensation home. And then monitor jobs, when you launch worksheets or when you do some action, a background job is scheduled. So to track the jobs that we have run, so we can go to monitor jobs. This is different from the monitor job that we have in the employee center. So basically, when you
Okay.
search for the monitor job, we can see two things. One is the monitor jobs, and the other is the monitor job. The monitor job.
That's the EC monitor job. Yep.
Yeah, that's the easy monitor job. But this is the compensation monitor jobs. See, these two monitor jobs and monitor job. Jobs is compensation one, and job is the employee center one. And then we have rewards and recognition, which is again different from the compensation plan. So it replaces the additional payments in employee central.
Mhm.
We have a portlet called additional payments, where we can have the one-time payments configured in
Set
the
up.
system. Yeah.
Mhm.
So whenever the admin or the manager or the HR whoever has the access to additional payments, they can use the additional payments to employees. Similarly, we have a program which is called Reward and Recognition or the Spot Awards. This is also called the Spot Awards. So when this
Mhm.
is enabled in system, Spot Awards is enabled in system, it replaces the process of additional payments. So managers or the admins will no longer be able to use the additional payments in employee information or the job information. They can do that from the spot awards, rewards and recognition. Again, this is based on this can be based on either budget or non-budget. We can have two different things. One, some components they can be based with the budget. Some components they can be individual payments. So anyone in the organization can give a spot awards or the rewards and recognition to to any employee. Let's say I was given access to spot awards. I can nominate some employees, saying that these employees should be rewarded some percentage of amount. So whoever or given the access to spot awards can nominate the employees. That is
So
reward.
employees can nominate that, or the managers will nominate that this person.
If employees given access to spot awards, so he cannot be a manager or he cannot be a HR or a comp admin. If all the employees are given access to spot awards, so everyone can nominate the other. Okay, so we can have the components set up in the rewards and recognition, any number of components. Okay, and based on the access that is given to the employees, they can use the pay components or to nominate the other employees. Let's say for manager we have given 4 components access. Okay, one is bonus, one is some X reward, and then Y reward. The manager will have that access to those 3 components, and manager can rate or manager can nominate his direct reports with those components. And the other employees, all the other employees is given one component access. They can nominate the other people with that pay component. Okay, and that's it. Action for all plans. Most of our configuration is done in the action for all plans and compensation. And once we are done with the cycle, we can export our reports using aggregate export and the roll-up report. Then we have monitor jobs to check the status of the jobs that we have scheduled. The rewards and recognition entirely different from the compensation cycle is out of like if you go and see rewards and recognition. Separate configuration. Yeah, this is the spot award program. Here we can see these are the programs: peer application award, best on rewards. These are the 2, or we can have any number of programs here. Look at one of the program, peer appreciation program. We have settings like program name, functional currency, table, and whether the budget is included. Advanced setting: is there a budget associated with this program? If yes, we need to define what is the budget. Can nominators override the recommended award amount? Okay, eligibility settings. Again, we can have eligibility rules. Categories or levels like employee categories and the employee levels based on the.
Just a question, Rajesh, Venu, sorry. Yeah. If you go to the settings, it says enable it with EC, so this would show up as a portlet on EC, rewards and recognition?
Yes, it's in EC.
If you scroll down?
When manager want to reward the employee, he need to go to the employee, go to take action, and then rewards and take action, and then spot awards of the rewards and recognition.
Okay.
And this is linked to the pay component.
Okay.
Additional pay components. Then reporting and eligibility. We can have guidelines and eligibility here also. There are certain limitations in rewards and recognition. The system is not completely set up. Maybe we can use only as it is how the SAP has designed. But we cannot change the the methodology that they have given. Just to nominate, managers can nominate award, which is again which can be sent to approval or which can be directly sent to employees portlets, job information portlet.
Okay.
That's it.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. And moving to compensation form. Compensation form. Yeah, this is where we do our entire configuration for the compensation plan. On the left hand side, we can see all the plans configured in the system. All the plans can be the salary plan or the variable plans. So we can search based on the template name or anything. We can search the plans using the search field. And then on the right hand side, we have the setup a new plan, the configuration setup for the global setup for the compensation plans. We can add new compensation plans. We click on add new compensation plan. We need to upload the XML. If we have any XML, we can upload that here.
Okay.
Okay. And then similarly, the add new variable plan. And then we have action for all plans where it takes you to the global settings of the compensation plan, and then monitor jobs, aggregate report, and roll-up report. The same thing what we see, what we have seen there in the admin center. So the two things which are new is the add new compensation plan and add new variable plan. We go to action for all plans. This is the compensation home page, and from home page we are going to action for all plans. This is the these place we configure the global settings for all our compensation plans. For all the plans, there is some global settings that are done in action for all plans. So we have import export data, manage statement templates where we configure the compensation statements which are similar to the pay slips, and then group assignments. We can configure the groups, the permission groups here, and assign employees to those groups, and then compensation profile and company settings. There are some basic settings which are done in the company settings. So
what is
yeah,
compensation profile, Venu?
compensation profile, like if you go to worksheet, for each and every employee, we can see a profile of the employee. We can see the employee profile where we can see the data based on the periods. Like let's say for last year, what is the employees rating? What is the employees performance rating, and what was the pay, employees pay? And then before that year, what was the rating and what was the salary? So we can define the periods. We can define the compensation periods, and then these periods will be displayed on the compensation profile of the employee profile. Let me show you. If you go to compensation, this is very old, but still we can see the profile. Yeah, if you look at the employee, okay, is the worksheet, and on the three dots, when you mouse over on the three dots, you can see open profile. When you go to profile, you can see the entire information of the employee. Here you will have a separate column, the compensation profile, called the compensation profile, which will give you the overall picture of the compensation hikes or compensation data and the performance data, showing that this was the salary of employee in the year 2012, and this is the salary that the employees got. We can have a graphical chart, or let me check if one of the clients has got that. Let me proxy as one of the planner. This positioning, they are also not using it. Or we can
That's okay,
also,
no problem.
we can also configure or in our sheets. So,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
so
We'll do it later on. All
yeah,
right.
we'll have a section similar to this section. Like we have recommendations, right? We'll have the
Right.
compensation periods, and then we can see the chart or on the data.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see that.
This is all configurable, right? The one which you just
Yeah,
showed me.
this is all configurable.
Perfect. Okay.
Just we need to define the periods in compensation profile.
Got it.
Action for all plans. We go to compensation profile. We'll define the, see, here we can define for 2017 the pay types for which we are paying the employee, and then we can save it. Let's say and then save it. So we'll have a period here with 2017. Two 2017 review. If you go to now 2017 compensation plan, Yeah, if you go to plan setup, you have defined compensation period data where you can add your periods. Select the period 2017 review and then add it here, then save. Now if you go to any of the employee, and go to compensation. All the planners will go to compensation worksheets from this drop down. So it is in 2018. It's 2018 months. See this one, compensation history. Now we can see 2015, 14, and 17. So if we
17.
have, yeah, if we have the data configured here, we can see all the components listed down here, and you can see either on the chart or you can also see the data wise. These two things. We need to have exact pay components defined here, so that we'll get the data
In the settings, yep.
in the settings. Okay, we need to configure the exact right. If you want to see the performance rating of 2015, we need to select 2015. We need to select the ratings and the salary that is being used, the current salary or the pay component that is used to give the salary hike. If you configure them, we can see the compensation history here for those periods. We can see
Right.
now for these 3 periods. So either we can see that in the data grid wise or the chart also. We'll configure for some of the employees and see that when you start that configuration.
Okay.
Okay. From Q2 2018, all the clients will be moved to new homepage, which is a Fieri homepage. I hope you are aware of that.
Yeah, it's V12, right? Compensation.
Yeah, compensation is
Sheets.
virtual, but the new homepage, the homepage that we see here,
Right.
and this is Fieri homepage, the new homepage. So every customer will have the same homepage now, from starting from Q2 2018.
This kind of a homepage
In this kind of
is what you're
homepage,
saying.
yes. The one what we are using earlier, which is I think V12. That's
Yep.
that's the universal feature that we are getting from Q2 2018. Okay. For all the universal settings are done in the action for all plans. Once these settings are done, okay, which is universal, we can do our configuration based on the plans that we have. So we can search the plans using your search bar here. And if you want to copy the existing plan, you want to copy or clone the existing plan, we have the option of copying it here in on the left hand side beside the compensation. plan. If you look at the copy plan, you can click on the copy plan. So our plan will be copied. Just we need to rename it 2018 test compensation plan, any name that we want to give. And while defining or while copying the plan, generally what we do is every year we have a compensation plan copied, and then the cycle is run. Once the cycle is completed, when you are copying the plan for the next year, we generally copy the plan, previous year's plan, because the configuration is same for every configuration is same every year. So we copy the previous year plan and we change the dates. Since we are using proration in the plan, we can see proration dates also. But for some plans, we don't see the proration. If you go to, let's see if they are not using. Everybody is using proration. This may vary depending upon the settings that we are using. If you don't want proration dates, yeah.
What does this proration dates do, Venu?
Proration.
What role does it play?
Proration is based on like the employee. If the it can be based on the employee's hire date. Let's see the. If we go to settings, we have here. Yeah, salary proration. If you don't want to use the salary proration, I think we are using salary proration. This salary proration, this can be based on either percentage, okay, either percentage or the date of the employee. Yeah, if you look at the dates, okay, we need to define the dates. What date the proration should be affected? Like if you are running the cycle, compensation cycle from start date 1/1/2017 to 31/12/2017, the prorate salary based on either the recruit date, the employee's hire date, if the employee is joined in between the cycle, that is 1st of June or 1st of July. Okay, his salary should be prorated based on the hire date. Okay, so we have a period of 12 months. The employee is there only for 6 months in the cycle. His salary will be prorated. Let's say for all the employees, all the employees with the rating 10, with rating 1, we have to give 10 percentage of their complete salary. So whereas for this particular employee, since the employer joined in between the cycle, this employee should be given, he has also got the rating of 1. He should be given 10%, but not on the complete salary, not on the annualized salary, only for the period that he is existing in the system, right? If the annual salary is 10 lakhs, the employee joined in mid of the year, that is on 1st of June or 1st of July. So he should be evaluated for those 6 months. He should not be given a salary hike of 10% on 10 lakhs. He should be given a salary of 10% hike of 10% on 5 lakhs, which is for 6 months. Right. So, yeah, based on the recruit date or enter proration start date and date from the user file. Either you can define it in the UDF or you can give the recruit date. That's the proration. So while copying the plan, we need to tell the system whether we want to consider the proration dates or not. 2018, let's say. Okay. The proration dates and the financial year end date. We need to give the financial year end date. Every country has got a different financial end dates. We can give the financial end date, and then employee central effective date. Employee central effective date means if you have given the date, effective date as 31/12/2017, system will consider this particular date while fetching the data. So any data which is after this date, if the employee is hired on 1/1/2018 or there is a change in the record of employee from 1/1/2018 which is after this date, that record will not be considered in this compensation cycle. Let's say employee salary is 10 lakhs for the period up to 2017 December 31. From 1/1/2018 the employee salary is changed to 12 lakhs. So system will consider only the 10 lakhs record because the effective date is 31/12/2017. Any date,
Perfect.
any record which is dated after this date will not be considered for the compensation plan. So this is very
No,
important.
no matter you do any change in December, give them a higher date or promotion from 1/1, the
Yes,
system would only consider as of 31/12 whatever is active, that is
yes,
considered for calculations.
yes, exactly. So
Perfect.
once we launch the worksheet, this date will be freezed. So we will not be able to change this date
Mhm.
because the worksheet is already launched. So if we want to change this date, what we have to do is we have to delete all the worksheets whichever we have generated. All we have to delete them and then change the date and then generate the worksheet.
Relaunch.
Yeah, relaunch the worksheets. Okay, this is very important. The new effective date for the EC effective date. So sometimes what happens most of the time, so all the clients they come up saying that we have a record for this employee changed from so and so date, and this is not reflecting on the worksheet. We need to check the effective date that we have configured for this plan, and then click on copy. So all the configuration of this plan will be copied. We copied to the new plan which we have created, 2018 test compensation plan. Except for the eligibility rules, all the configurations will be all the configuration will be copied. That's one way of copying a plan. Or the second one we have is what we can also do is we can export the
Input export.
XML. Yeah, we can export the XML that is there in the advanced settings. You can click on download form template. So we have this XML. Then press it on our desktop. 2017 compensation plan. Now can go to our compensation, add new compensation plan. Give name to choose the file and then upload form template. There is some error. Component type with value null must have a value from the list of information. Let's see what is it. This one. XML, it says there is an error with line number 1223. This one. Component type is defined as null for some of the one of the component.
Mhm.
So this should be a change. That is why you are getting here. A lump sum salary budget. Let's see that. But now, for now, let's copy one of the plan. Let me check the configuration of budget and I'll copy that. This seems to be okay. Settings, advanced settings. Download form template. Paste it on desktop. Upload form template. Okay, now 2018 test plan is saved with form type compensation. If you go to see, 2018 test plan is copied here. So we have two ways of copying a plan. One is directly from the plan, we can copy the plan, and the second option is we can have the
Import export.
import export. We can export the XML, existing XML, and if you want to change anything, we can change the data in the XML also, and then we can import it back into the system. Okay, so if you want to do any changes in the existing template, there are some changes which are to be done only in the XML. So if you are doing those changes in XML, we cannot import that in the instance. So let's say we have this template. We have downloaded this template, 2018 test compensation plan. Sorry, we have downloaded this template, but we don't have the option of importing the XML into the system into the same plan. Okay, if you do changes in this plan,
right,
some changes. So let's
label change or something.
Yeah, some label change or some data change from the configuration change. We cannot import the XML in the instance. We have to go to provisioning and then select the plan and then import our XML. Or we can copy paste the code that we have changed. We don't have that option in instance. We can only do that from provisioning. We can only import the XML for the new compensation plans, but not for the existing
Compensation plan. Okay, so if any changes you have to make, you have to go to provisioning and then you have to make those changes.
If it is XML change, we have to do it from the provisioning, not from the instance.
So in provisioning, do you do it right then and there, or you import it? You make the change in the XML pad and then you import it.
We can do it then and there. I'll show you that. Either we can do it there itself, or we can do it in the XML pad and copy the code, the entire code, or
I think I've seen that, Vinu.
You have seen
the
it.
place where you're saying. Yeah, I've seen it. So that's fine.
Okay.
If it's not logging in, we can do it later.
Go to form template administration where you see all the plans. Then click on one of the plan. You can do the changes here, XML.
Oh, okay.
Either we can copy all the code and then paste it here, or only the part of code that we want to change. Okay, that can be copied, or we can
There is an update by
upload. We can upload the XML, complete XML.
Perfect.
two ways. Either we copy and paste the code directly, or we can update by upload.
Perfect.
Okay, those are the two ways that we copy the compensation plan. One is through XML and one is from the direct plan copy. Okay,
Perfect.
we'll stop it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow.
Sounds good, Venu. And yeah, we'll
Yeah,
start from tomorrow.
you can interrupt me any